For the first time today, Governor Tim Walz met with top legislative leaders on both sides of the aisle to talk about a special session to address gun laws after the Annunciation Church shooting. Jennifer Hoff is here with what the two sides plan to hammer out and when. Jennifer?
Julie, that ban is easily the Democrats' biggest priority. The Republicans planning to pursue mental health measures and more funding for school safety. Both sides, though, optimistic about continuing discussions this week, while acknowledging that any policies will require bipartisan support in both closely divided chambers.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming.
Governor Walz speaking to the press after a private meeting with top legislators determined to call a special session to create a public safety policy after a violent summer.
We have weapons of war and high-capacity magazines on the streets that should not be there. We have folks that have firearms that should not have them, and we should be doing everything in our power to do something about that.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, a shooter opened fire on Annunciation Church, killing 2 children. Walz saying their families are now demanding action. That coming just 2 months after a gunman killed Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband at home.
There would be numerous things that people talk about to try and distract from the one common denominator in America that sets us apart from most nations, and so protecting our children is our top priority.
House Speaker and Republican Lisa Damas says her party is focused on school safety, laying out 7 priorities it plans to pursue, some with the more than $100 million in funding from the now canceled Express rail line to Duluth.
House Republicans are committed to making sure that we are keeping our schools and our communities safe, and that is a very broad way of looking at that and getting at the actual foundational root issues that cause someone to act out in such a horrendous way.
Damas also acknowledging the chamber nor the entire DFL caucus have enough votes to ban any firearms, while the Senate is forming a safety measures task force for if and when a special session is called.
I would like to see, even with hard topics, a better way of working together. I'd like to see civility improve, and that the disparaging rhetoric would go away.
And we mentioned a little bit about those closely divided chambers to show you just how much the House Republicans have just 1 vote advantage right now. And that will likely go back to a tie after next week's special election to fill Representative Hortman's seat. That happens on Tuesday. And then in the Senate, at least 1 Republican would have to vote with the Democrats, Julie, to move any bill if one were to come forward here in that special session.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer.